Hey guys, my name is Legado, and welcome to episode 2 of Skript, the simplified scripting language for Bukkit. We're going to get right started there. Last time I told you that we would be covering variables in this episode, but there's actually more to it because I also want to tell you what comments are. So the first thing we're going to want to do is create a new script file, which is going to be messenger++.sk. What we're going to be doing throughout this tutorial is write a little plugin which will allow you to set your join and quit messages, allow PMing, maybe a little broadcasting command, and maybe some ways to communicate with your staff. So every single episode I'm going to be teaching you something new about Skript, and we're going to be using this particular SK file. We're just going to keep building up on that so we actually come up with a very usable end result here. So let's get started with what variables are. Now you may see that I already had something in there. I was actually doing some algebra over there, but then my dog started barking and I thought, well, might as well just cut and start out. So the first thing that we need to know is that this is not going to be Skript, right? This is going to be just general mathematics to explain what variables are. So you may have learned in school that you have x, and this will be set equal to 21 plus 35, right? So then we can easily deduct that x must be equals 56. It's all very basic stuff. Now, in programming, you can also store messages, words, strings, everything. We could say name, we're going to set that equal to my name, which is Luke, and we're going to take my age, which is 22, and then I could say, hello, my name is name, and I am age, years old. And you would obviously now say, my name is Luke, see, name, my name is Luke, and I am age, years old, so 22 years old. So hello, my name is Luke and I'm 22 years old. Now you can actually do this in Skript, so we're going to go ahead and set that back to Skript over there, and we're going to make another hello world command to just show the first type of variable. So command / hello world. Remember to always write your command, declare your command, and then say what it's going to trigger. It's going to trigger another hello world message, unfortunately. But just to show you now, we're going to set the message equal to... Sorry, that's not how you do it in Skript. That's a different programming language, my bad. In Skript, you write set message to hello world. We're going to set another thing. We're going to set player to player. Now remember, from last time, we just write the word player here and it refers to the command sender over there. So now we're going to just say send message to player. Now some of you will probably say, yeah, that should work, right? Others will say no. And no, this will not work. And why is that? It would actually print this out from the screen. Now I'll go ahead and show you that. I'll go in game, we'll do sk reload messenger++. And we're going to clean the screen. Now we're going to do / hello world. You will see that it actually prints out message and not the value of it. Remember from last time, whenever you want something to be read by the server, maybe checked, you want the server to perform a certain action with it. In this case, we wanted to look up the value of message. We have to encase it in percent signs because it is within the string, right? So go ahead and save that up and do sk reload messenger++, clear the screen again. Now when I do / hello world, it's going to say hello world because we set it to equal hello world, right? Now these are these are local variables, so that they are created over here. Here we created two variables, and they're used over here. This is the end, right? So you can say stop. This is where the trigger ends, right? There's no code below. So they are local variables, as seen by the underscore over here. So the variables are deleted again. So we're going to do another command, which is going to be /myname, and we're gonna, well, you would say we have the player over there, right? So we can just say send my name is player to player. Now, this may seem very nice, and you would intuitively think this would work, right? Because we're setting the value of player to the player over here. So that should work, right? So I've saved it. Let's go ahead and enter Minecraft. SK reload messenger ++. Clear the screen again. We're going to do /myname, and you can actually see my name is none, and this is because we're using local variables here. As soon as this trigger ends, all variables inside there are deleted, so we will have to set it again. So we're going to set player to player. Or in this case, you could also say Legado. It doesn't really matter, so we're going to set it to player, and now it will work because we have declared it and we're using it again. So it's very important to remember that if you use an underscore in front of it, you put all of your variables between curly braces. If you prefix it with an underscore, it's going to be a local variable, and as soon as the particular trigger you are writing ends, the variable is deleted again. Now, if you want something that is stored, actually saved, to be used in different triggers, we're going to be using global variables. And we'll be doing another command, and we're going to be, well, I really have no imagination, so we're going to do /something, and the trigger for that, we're going to set a value, right? And this time we're going to set value to 100. Actually, no, we're going to do set number 1 to 100, set number 2 to 50. And that's all it's going to do. So we're going to send a little success message. So we're going to say successfully set the values of number 1 and number 2 to number 1 and number 2 respectively. So remember what I told you, we're using the percent signs here, so now it's actually going to print out the values 150 over here, whereas it's not going to do it over here because we're missing the percent signs, right? So this is a command to just set two values, and now we're going to add them. So we're going to do a command which is calculate. In this case, we are going to calculate the two values that we just set. So we're going to set result, and now we're going to be using a local variable. Set results to number 1 divided by number 2. It's going to equal 2 because we're doing 100 divided by 50. Remember, we're going to send a message. Number 1 divided. Well, I can't type. Divided by number 2 equals, and that's going to be result. Now let's actually just make this a slash. So I'm going to send that to player. And now remember, again, I cannot stress this enough, make use of the percent signs so it doesn't print out the actual message, right? So number 1, so 100 divided by 50 is equals to 2, right? So we have a local variable here which we have set to equal number 1 divided by number 2, and these are global variables, and you can actually see the color change. So these are two different types of variables, and I'll actually show you this. SK reload messenger ++. We're going to clear the screen. Now first, if we're going to do /calculate, it's going to say, wait, /calculate, unknown command. What did I /calculate? It's because I didn't save it, bonehead. SK reload messenger ++. Clear the screen again. So we're going to do /calculate first, right? And it's going to be none divided by none is nan. Now, if we run, what was this command? I keep forgetting. So something, / something, right? So / something successfully set the values of number 1 and number 2 to 150 respectively. Now, if you do / calculate, 100 divided by 50 is equal to 2. So it actually remembered the variables from the previous command and used them again. And that's because we didn't use the underscore here, so now we use them as global variables. Now, this means number 1 and number 2 are still saved because they're global variables. This result variable over here has an underscore, so it has been deleted again because it stopped running the trigger of / calculate. So this is something very important. Now, we're going to make our first command that's of actual use. We're going to make a command, which is going to be /pm. It's going to take 2 arguments. The first one is going to be player, and the second one is going to be text, because it's going to be a message, right? So we give it a trigger. So we're going to be setting some variables, which will actually greatly help us. And now, I'm going to show you something cool. These are comments. You want to make use of comments every time. A comment is something that is not read by the script. It's just going to ignore these. So these lines can be written in completely plain English, which is just to tell others that will be using your script, or maybe to just tell yourself what is actually happening. So we're going to say, below this comment, we shall be setting up our variables. And now we're going to do, and you can use as many returns as you like, so these white spaces don't actually matter as long as the indentation is correct. So we're going to do set sender to player, so the command sender, set receiver to argument 1, because it's going to be player argument, right? We're going to set message to equal argument to actual script will be below. So we made another comment, and none of this will be read by your server in any way. It's just to help you out, and it's actually very good practice to make use of these comments. You might think that they're a bit useless, but they really aren't, because what if someone else wanted to look at your script? Always write your script for someone else. Always assume that someone else will be looking at your script, because if you're going to be debugging your own script by yourself, then these little comments can be lifesavers. So we're going to send 2 messages. The first one will be sent to the sender, and the second one will be sent to the receiver. And it's going to be PM, so we're going to send PM to receiver message, and we're going to do PM from sender. That will be sent, that will be the message again, right? So we're done. These variables will be deleted as soon as the trigger ends. Go ahead and save that. Go in game, sk, reload, messenger, ++, clear the screen, and we're going to send myself a little PM, right? PM Legado. It's a nice day today. You can see it works just fine. Now you might want to add some color to it, so we're going to go ahead and do it in green, right? We're going to do it. We're going to send it in green to the sender, and we're going to use yellow for the receiver. Now you might know these alternate color codes. You just use an ampersand in front of your message. If you've run a Bukkit server, then you know about these for sure. So I'm not going to be explaining these, but there's a link, obviously, up in the description for those who don't know. So we're going to reload messenger ++. I did the actual reload command instead of sk reload. That's my bad, but that's okay. So we're going to PM myself again. Something dark side. Now you can see that it actually colored my messages. It's pretty cool. And if we wanted to clarify this even further, we're going to use orange here. So we're going to do dark green, and then the message will be in light green. And this will be in yellow. So we're going to be doing orange and yellow, and dark green and light green. And so it's pretty cool. that you can actually set these colors. So there you have it, a pretty cool command already. We have the PM command. Now, one more thing before I go is there's always a reply command, and that's going to take just one argument. This is a text, and this will reply to the last sender. Now, what do we need to do? We need the script to sort of remember who the last sender was, right? Well, we're going to use a global variable. So first, we're going to use PM, because we're talking about PMs, and we're going to say last sender, PM.last sender, for a player, right? Because you need to have some. So let's say we want this to exist. PM.lastSender.Lagado. So the person who sent me a PM last should be stored inside this variable. Now, what you can actually do here is use more % signs to escape within your variable. So we're going to save this for the receiver, right? The last sender of the receiver, my bad, last sender of the receiver will be set to the sender. Now, I might have to explain this a bit more, but here we're going to set up more variables. So we're going to set up sender, we're going to have receiver, and again we're going to have the message. Now, the sender will obviously be the player again, and the message will obviously be argument 1, because we only have one argument. Now you have the receiver, and remember that we set it here, PM.lastSender.name of the receiver. Now we do PM.lastSender.sender. So, and then we're just going to do make sender execute /PM receiver message. Okay, so let me go through this. I'll show it and debug it if there are any errors first, right? No errors. So let's see. We're going to send. We'll try it now. There is no player online whose name starts with none. Correct usage PM player text. So obviously it doesn't work yet because no one has sent us PM yet after the reload. So we're going to PM ourselves. We're going to say hello. We just can do that. And now we're going to do /R, and we're going to say, well, hello. And that works because it saved my name, obviously. It saved my name from the last PM, and it set it inside this variable over here. So we have PM.lastSender.receiver. So PM last sender this player. So in this case, let's say we're going to send this to Jeb. We're sending a PM to Jeb. So the first argument over here is going to be received. So receiver will get Jeb's name as its value. So Jeb will be receiver. We can do PM.lastSender.receiver, so this will be PM.lastSender.Jeb. Yes? We go to R, set sender to player. Jeb will be replying to us using /R, so set sender to Jeb. Set the receiver to the value of PM.lastSender.sender, which is Jeb, so it's going to pick up PM.lastSender.Jeb. And the value of this was set to sender, right? So the sender over here was me. I was sending a message to Jeb. So PM.lastSender.Jeb now equals Legado. So we simply set the receiver of the message to PM.lastSender.Jeb. So what this ends up meaning is we have the 3 variables. Sender is now equal to Jeb. Sorry, it's the other way around, Jeb. What else do we have? We have the receiver. This is in this case, my name's Legado. and we have the message. What did I use? Well, that's going to be your argument. In this case, well, hello. So I hope you understand that this Legado is now the value of this global variable. So I think that's going to be enough for today. We have PM and R. We have covered comments, variables, and variables within variables. So this should actually show you a hell of a lot to do. And, well, in the next tutorial, we're actually going to be looking at decision making. We want the server to make a certain decision based on two conditions. So if something happens, do something. If something else happens, do something else. We want the server to make a decision based on inputs. And this is an if statement, and I'll be covering that in the next tutorial. So I thank you for watching, and have a nice day.